Emma's apartment was filled with the weight of worry, a palpable tension that seemed to cling to every surface. The air itself felt heavy, thick with unspoken anxieties and the quiet desperation of a life struggling to stay afloat. Bills piled high, a relentless tide threatening to engulf her. Each statement was a stark reminder of her financial instability, a constant source of stress that gnawed at her peace of mind. Dreams on hold, indefinitely postponed by the harsh realities of her present circumstances. The aspirations she once held so dear now seemed like distant, unattainable fantasies, and a constant sense of not having enough permeated her thoughts, coloring her perception of the world. It was a gnawing feeling that no matter how hard she worked, she would always be lacking. She scrolled through social media, feeling left behind as friends celebrated milestones she couldn't imagine reaching. Their seemingly perfect lives served as a painful contrast to her own struggles, amplifying her feelings of inadequacy and isolation. The scarcity mindset seeped into every part of her life, poisoning her relationships, her career, and her sense of self-worth. It was a pervasive belief that there wasn't enough to go around, and she was destined to be among those who missed out, making her jealous of anyone who seemed to have what she lacked, breeding resentment and bitterness in her heart. Fearful of taking risks, of putting herself out there, of failing to meet the expectations she believed others held for her. And small, diminished by the weight of her anxieties, she felt powerless to change her circumstances, trapped in a cycle of negativity and self-doubt. Each day felt like survival, a constant battle against the overwhelming forces of stress and uncertainty. Wake to the same daunting challenges, the same relentless pressure to make ends meet. Work tirelessly, often without feeling appreciated or fulfilled, just to stay one step ahead of financial ruin. Numb out in front of the television, seeking temporary escape from the crushing weight of her reality. Repeat the same monotonous routine day after day with no end in sight. She believed success was limited, a finite resource that could only be attained by a select few. And if others won, she lost. Their achievements only served to highlight her own perceived failures, reinforcing her belief that she was destined to remain stuck in her current circumstances. Isolated and exhausted, Emma longed for change but didn't know where to start. She felt trapped by her own limiting beliefs, unable to see a path forward. She wondered, how do you fix a problem when the problem is the way you think? How could she break free from the scarcity mindset that had taken root in her mind and begin to cultivate a more positive and abundant outlook on life? One rainy Tuesday, as the city hummed with a melancholic rhythm, Emma stumbled upon a podcast quite by accident. She was seeking solace from the downpour and the general grayness of the day, hoping to find a distraction, perhaps even a spark of inspiration. The title jumped out at her: Shift from Scarcity to Abundance. It promised a different perspective, a way to break free from the feeling of constant lack that had been plaguing her thoughts. The host, with a soothing and encouraging voice, described the mind as a garden, a fertile ground where thoughts take root and blossom. Plant scarcity, nurture doubts, and you'll harvest lack, a barren landscape reflecting inner anxieties. But plant gratitude, cultivate positivity, and you'll harvest joy, an overflowing bounty of contentment and fulfillment. For the first time, Emma truly realized the profound impact of her thoughts, understanding that they weren't just fleeting mental events, but powerful forces that actively shaped her reality. Abundance wasn't about naively ignoring problems or pretending that challenges didn't exist, but about cultivating a deep-seated belief that there's enough for everyone, including her, and that resources and opportunities are not finite. The idea was undeniably scary, a leap of faith into the unknown. But staying stuck in the old patterns of scarcity felt even worse, a slow and suffocating stagnation. Inspired and energized, she grabbed a notebook and began filling it with these new principles, eager to integrate them into her daily life. Appreciate what you have, acknowledging the blessings already present in her life, no matter how small. See setbacks as feedback, valuable lessons disguised as obstacles, opportunities for growth and refinement. And focus creates reality, directing her attention and energy towards her goals, visualizing success and manifesting her desires. Emma felt a surge of hope and a newfound sense of agency for the first time in years, a feeling of empowerment that she could shape her own destiny. she decided to commit to this new mindset, embracing the principles of abundance, one day at a time, knowing that lasting change requires consistent effort and unwavering dedication. Emma began a daily gratitude journal, listing 3 things she was thankful for each morning. At first it was hard. Her mind wanted to focus on problems, but she persisted. Sunlight through her window, the taste of coffee, her cat's purr. Over time, she started noticing small joys everywhere. Her mood lifted and she complained less. Gratitude became her anchor, shifting her focus from lack to abundance. She realized abundance wasn't a future goal. It was a way of seeing the present. Emma was finally living, not just surviving. When Emma was rejected for a job, she felt the sting, that familiar wave of disappointment that washes over us when things don't go our way. It's a feeling we all know too well. But this time, instead of dwelling on the negative, she paused, took a deep breath, and asked herself, "What can I learn from this experience? What can I do better next time?" She sought feedback from friends, mentors, and even the company that rejected her, and learned she needed to bolster her digital marketing skills, an area where she was lacking. So she took proactive steps and enrolled in a course to bridge that gap. Soon, armed with her newfound knowledge, she began helping local businesses with their online presence, crafting engaging content and building their brands. In doing so, she was turning rejection into a valuable opportunity for growth and success. Her first client success led to more work, referrals, and a growing reputation in the community. This not only provided her with income, but also a new sense of purpose and fulfillment. Emma realized that setbacks weren't dead ends, but rather, they were detours, guiding her down unexpected paths that ultimately led to growth and greater opportunities. She stopped waiting passively for opportunities to knock on her door. Instead, she took the initiative and started actively creating them for herself. Every challenge she faced became a valuable lesson, a stepping stone rather than a defeat. Emma's mindset shift, her newfound ability to see challenges as opportunities, was fundamentally transforming her life and career. Emma curated her environment, seeking out positive, ambitious people and uplifting content. She joined a network of women entrepreneurs, finding support and inspiration. Instead of competition, she found collaboration and shared success. She unfollowed accounts that fueled comparison, choosing empowering voices instead. Her world expanded, her business grew, her confidence soared. Emma now shares her story, reminding others, abundance is cultivated, not found. It starts with gratitude, reframing challenges, and choosing your influences. Anyone can begin. Notice one beautiful thing today, and let that be your first step.